you guys, what's up? Thank you for clicking on my channel. Welcome back to Dysfunctionally Functional Life with Tam Collins. The Watts murder case is on my mind again this morning. I've been watching a lot of Shannan's videos and just watching her energy and her baking with her children and just what an outgoing and lovely personality she was, just really taking that energy. And it got me to thinking about how the narcissistic people hate that energy. They want to destroy that energy, okay? And this is coming from a person who has been around narcissistic people for most of my life and been unlucky enough to actually learn about now the hidden covert narcissist and be in a relationship with one and look back over my life and figure out that I've been around more than one. And I didn't know, I didn't have the education back then, which is what I fear happened to Shannan Watts. If you're not familiar with the Watts murder case, Chris Watts in August of 2018, just an everyday family. Chris and Shannan Watts were married 8 years, had 2 beautiful daughters, and a son on the way. She was 15 weeks pregnant. Christopher Watts develops a 5-week fling with a new woman, and he decides to annihilate his entire family. He murders his pregnant wife and 2 daughters and disposes of their bodies like trash, and proceeds to think he's going to get away with it. If you know the case, then you know what I'm talking about. We don't have to go over the horrific details. And if you don't know the case, there's a lot of information out there on it. So Shannan, beautiful Shannan. Oh my God, her energy. And so let's start here. Like I said, I feel that I have a responsibility to speak up on this. I see a lot of people out there talking all across the board, shaming people and going on and on from all sides about people capitalizing on this case, and people shouldn't still be talking about this case, and people are doing this and they're disrespecting that, and they shouldn't do this and they shouldn't do that. Let me just say this. Historically, when a family is murdered like that, people are going to talk about it. People are going to be moved by that. They are going to want to understand what the hell went on, okay? No, absolutely no disrespect to that family. I cannot imagine what her mother and father and her brother and her family went through and are still going through. I cannot imagine the horrific pain. I feel so deeply for that family. Absolutely no disrespect meant to them. But when I ran across this case, there's so much to it. There's so much that people can learn, that people need to be aware of, that despite all of the talk out there, all of the YouTube creators on this case, yes, there are some creators out there, and I just sit back and kind of look at it. I literally hear some creators going, you know, I don't really have any ideas for topics. You know, I've been doing this list and that list and how-to videos, and, you know, there really are people out there that just don't have that much passion in them. They don't have ideas, or they don't feel very passionately about certain things. And there are people that have grabbed onto this damn case. I see it all the time. Really, really young people that you would think would be on there talking about video games or something, and they're literally sitting there going over the Chris Watts murder case and talking about Shannan, and I'm just thinking, shouldn't you be playing a video game or something, or maybe at the mall? And I see them fumbling for, they don't have the passion to back it up. They're not there because there is something deeply passionate inside of them that they have either experienced walking through the same shoes certain things about Shannan, or maybe a toxic relationship in their life, something they can bring to the table while discussing the Watts murder case. I don't see that passion in them, okay? I am definitely not standing behind people who are just snatching this case up and going, you know what? This is a big topic on YouTube right now, and everybody's talking about it, and I'm going to jump in there. And I literally see kids, okay? Kids, yes, fumbling around with this topic with no passion, nothing inside of them that is passionate about this case for any reason. And I am not condoning that. I'm not at all. It just makes me look at them like, good Lord. You know, it's so disrespectful. That is disrespectful to me. Now, where I'm coming from, I'm relatively new here on YouTube, so it's not going to make a difference either way. I'm not monetized. Where I'm coming from is from the perspective of a woman who has been married twice, divorced twice. I have 2 grown children. I have an anxiety disorder. I have obsessive compulsive disorder with traits, not the full-blown disorder. I see a lot of myself in Shannan Watts, who she was and what she was trying to accomplish in this life. I see her love for Christopher, and there are lots of things about that woman that I feel have been very misunderstood by the public. Those who bash her, those who have the nerve to support Chris Watts. Okay, I am coming at this from a totally different angle, to where I do feel like from some of my personal experiences, I can contribute something to the public awareness. That is where I'm coming from on this particular case. Or I just wouldn't do it. If I didn't feel something passionately about it, like I had something to contribute, I just wouldn't do it. But I do. I feel like it is our responsibility to speak up if we can offer something, okay? And yeah, I know everybody's got their opinion about that. Oh, let it go. Don't talk about those people, and don't make this about you. Nobody's making it about them. But it is very natural when something like that happens, you are naturally going to reflect on your personal experiences. Well, what's in my frame of reference? What has happened to me that is very similar to what happened to her? Or then, you know, that is natural for a person to do, okay? And so, let me just start here. No person on this earth is perfect. Absolutely not. I am not sitting here all ignorant-minded. I am a critical thinker, scientific all the way. I have been studying psychology for years. I absolutely have to think critically, but I balance that out with a deeper feeler. I am a feeler. I also balance that out with my intuitive, deeper feeling, my empathy, able to pick up on energies and feel people's feelings, and really have a deeper energetic feel into things. I balance those 2 things out. I'm sorry, but in my personal opinion here, if you only have one or the other, you're limited. I'm sorry, critical thinkers, scientific people who think you know it all. You are an extremely limited person to me if you do not have the balance of both. If you don't have the ability to be a critical thinker and a deeper feeler at the same time and balance that out, then you have a very limited frame of reference. Sorry, that's just the way I feel about it. And I know that the scientific community thinks they know it all, and that's where it ends, and they really take a shit all over people who use their intuition, their extra senses, deeper feelers who can feel things. I know you do, but that's okay. I have my ways and you have yours, and I just feel like the balance is the best. It is the best way to cover all bases. To have the most well-rounded perspective. So, yeah, let's talk about Shannan and Chris for a minute. Alright. Shannan was not a perfect person. Who is? All these people saying, She was a bitch. She was a narcissist. She controlled him. She blah, 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 blah. She was moody and she didn't have time and she wouldn't listen and blah, 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 blah. Ask yourself. Ask yourself, at what point in your marriage have you been perfect as a woman? For all of you people shaming Shannan Watts, ask yourself, at what point in your marriage were you perfect? And you cannot tell me that you haven't had a time where you became extremely annoyed with your husband. You cannot tell me that you didn't have a week where you had your PMS or you had something going on where you gave him the cold shoulder. You can't tell me that in your marriage you didn't get particular about something at some point, that you didn't have your set ways and your set moods and something about him became annoying or frustrating. You cannot tell me. I'm sorry. All you, I want to say it, all you chicks out there are running your mouth, and dudes doing it too, disrespecting this deceased woman and her beautiful children, running your mouth, not even looking deeper into the situation. Half of you probably never had a relationship in your life. Half of you probably never been married. Half of you probably never had kids. I mean, literally, just running your mouth about this beautiful woman. Like you know some shit. Not even looking more deeply into the situation, okay? So, I want to make that point. For those of you blaming that woman who was brutally murdered, she and her daughters, it is the biggest disgrace. I just can't even imagine what her family had to endure and go through. And I don't care what anyone says. After running across this case, I do feel like it is my responsibility, it is your responsibility. Strong women. Lots of topics within this. Lots of things we need to take a look at. There is something going on where strong women are getting involved with very inferior, wounded types of men, the covert narcissist, and these strong women are being annihilated. And it may not be by murder, it may not be physically, but these strong women are getting involved with these men wearing these masks. These are very underdeveloped, immature, very, and these women are not realizing at first. And it really feels like sometimes an attack on strong women. Women who know what they want in life. They know where they're going. They know what their boundaries are. They've been working on insecurities for years. That's why they appear so confident, because they have been insecure. They have faced that down. They've done some of the work and they're still doing it. I would see that woman get on Facebook Live and expose herself. Talk about her insecurities. Talk about what she feared. Talk about what she still had to work on. You will not see a narcissist do that. You're not going to see a narcissist expose themselves that way. Absolutely not. They're too blocked off. So there is something going on where strong women are under attack by these extremely wounded, inferior men disguised as a caring gentleman, passive, sweet. And when they get into these women's lives, they are spiritually, emotionally, mentally, psychologically murdering these strong women. They are taking them apart. It's like a Trojan horse. It's like a, oh my God, I can't even put words to it. I've just lived through this situation, okay? It's why I am so passionate about speaking out about it. And I feel like this woman is gone now. And we strong women, if we have any insight, any experience with toxic relationships, covert narcissism, anything Shannan may have experienced, anything that from OCD to anxiety to what it feels like to be a strong woman, working on herself, and being involved with someone who Chris Watts was energetically undermining that woman the whole time he was with her. It was like she got involved with a little boy and didn't know it, okay? I feel like it is our responsibility as strong women to speak up, share our experiences, share the insight that we might have, our awareness, because this woman no longer has a voice. And I don't care what anyone thinks about that. I will speak on these topics. I will keep her memory alive. And I will speak out on things like this. And I don't care who gets mad or thinks that's disrespectful. Whatever. So yeah, let's talk about how Chris and Shannan first got together. Now, if you go over to the channel called Live Abuse Free, she gives an excellent breakdown on the covert narcissist. She breaks down the Watts case and the Watts relationship very, very well. It all made perfect sense because my relationship was exactly the same. Exactly the same for almost 5 years, okay? Shannan's ended tragically. Not all covert narcissists are murderers. Not all of them are going to be driven to physically abuse or murder you. It depends on how high on the narcissistic spectrum they are and what other disorders they may have and what all's going on in their life. Not all of them are going to murder you, though. Not all of them are going to be physical with you or try to take someone's life. So Live Abuse Free, I really love her. I love her channel. She gives a very good breakdown on all of this psychology of the covert narc and how they weave their way into your life in the beginning. From day one, it's all a trap. It's all a setup. From day one, it is a doomed partnership. And this is what Shannan Watts did not know. This is what she did not realize in time. But I do believe she began picking up on some of this. I do believe it's why she acted the way she acted.